knowing it would be so misunderstood. When he could have said, let me make it plain, gather at the foot of the mountain and please be quiet. No, first he had to shake the ground under their feet before they'd be quiet. They didn't know about decently and in order, which immediately suggests that what I'm about to suggest doesn't make any sense. They were hard of hearing, those people at the foot of the mountain. So God did not come down on the mountain and say, blessed are the meek. They despised meek people. They didn't have respect for that. In fact, who does now? And then he said, God will raise up a prophet like me. And he was gentle Jesus, meek and mild. The meekest person we've ever seen. Was it weakness? Or trying to say something about God? So now God has an audience who will not respond favorably to blessed are the meek. When he stood on the mount and said, blessed are the meek, was it very well received? When he said, blessed are the poor, or the poor in spirit, meaning those who recognize their spiritual need, was that well received? Well, how about pray for your enemies? How were they going to overcome the Romans if you pray for your enemies? They didn't like this. And so Jesus had to pause in the middle of his presentation and say, think not I've come to destroy the Old Testament, the law and the prophets. I've not come to destroy it. I've come to fulfill it, to explain it, and tell you what it's all about. I happen to be the one who thundered on Sinai, and you're never going to hear me thunder these 3.5 years. The closest he came was the cleansing of the sanctuary, but he evidently didn't thunder because the children weren't scared. And so they should have asked Jesus, well, if you're the same one, why did you thunder on Sinai? And he'd say, well, take a look at the audience. Look how they were behaving. They didn't respect me. Even though they'd experienced the 10 plagues, had observed the 10 plagues, which had even moved Pharaoh for 3 days, the Israelites themselves were not very much impressed with God, were they? And so he had to do it over, thunder and lightning and an earthquake. And he did move them for a while, and like Pharaoh, they said, yes, all that the Lord hath said we will do. You remember? And 40 days later, how impressed were they? Dancing in a fertility cult rite, drunk and naked around a golden calf. Now, what do you do with people who've witnessed the 10 plagues of Egypt? They've witnessed the thunders of Sinai. They've seen the 10 commandments brought down and Moses' face shining so brightly. And the wonders that followed, and they still are not respectful. What do you do?